What women notice about you in the first 10 seconds. Most men believe attraction takes time to build. They think it's about long conversations, saying the right things, or gradually proving themselves over multiple interactions. And while time can strengthen attraction, what many don't realize is that the foundation of it often begins almost instantly. Within the first few seconds, before a real conversation even starts, a woman is already picking up on signals. Not consciously analyzing every detail, but naturally observing. And these early observations shape how she sees you moving forward. Because in those first 10 seconds, she's not focused on your words. She's focused on your presence. She's reading how you carry yourself, how you enter a space, how comfortable you seem, and whether your energy feels grounded or uncertain. And these things happen quickly, without effort, without explanation, and without you even realizing it. The first thing that becomes noticeable is your overall energy. Not something abstract, but something visible through your behavior. How you move, how you react, how you exist in the moment. Are you calm, or are you slightly tense? Are you relaxed, or does it look like you're trying to manage how you appear? Are you grounded in yourself, or are you subtly seeking approval from your surroundings? Because when someone is comfortable within themselves, it shows without effort. Their movements are natural, their reactions are not forced, and they are not constantly adjusting themselves to fit into the environment. On the other hand, when someone is unsure, that also shows. There's hesitation, overthinking, small adjustments that reveal internal pressure. Then comes body language, which is one of the strongest indicators of confidence in those early moments. The way you stand, the way you walk, the way you position yourself around others. If your posture is closed, if your shoulders are slightly dropped, if your movements are hesitant, it signals uncertainty. Not because you're intentionally showing it, but because your body reflects your internal state. But when your posture is upright, relaxed, and natural, it signals comfort. Not forced confidence, but ease. And ease is what people are drawn to because it feels stable. Your movement also plays a role here. Fast, rush movements often signal pressure. It looks like you're trying to get somewhere quickly, trying to keep up, trying to manage something internally. But slower, controlled movements show that you're not in a rush. You're not reacting to the environment. You are moving with intention. Eye contact is another powerful signal that is picked up almost immediately. Not in an exaggerated way, not by staring intensely, but through natural, steady engagement. When you can hold eye contact calmly, it shows presence. It shows that you're not intimidated by the interaction. It shows that you're not trying to avoid connection. But when eye contact is inconsistent, when you look away too quickly or avoid it altogether, it can signal discomfort. At the same time, trying too hard to maintain eye contact can also feel unnatural. So it's not about forcing it. It's about being comfortable enough that it happens naturally. Your facial expression matters more than most men realize. If your face looks tense, overly serious, or unsure, it creates distance. It can make you seem closed off or overly guarded. But when your expression is relaxed, when there is a natural softness or even a slight smile, it makes you more approachable. This doesn't mean you have to smile constantly. It just means your face reflects comfort instead of tension. Then there's your pace, which is often overlooked but very important. How quickly you respond, how fast you move, how you handle small pauses. When everything is rushed, it signals internal urgency. It feels like you're trying to keep up with something, trying not to lose control of the moment. But when your pace is steady, when you take your time, when you allow pauses to exist without rushing to fill them, it shows calmness. And calmness is one of the strongest indicators of confidence. Because someone who is calm is not reacting. They are in control of themselves. Another thing that becomes clear very quickly is your attention. Where your focus goes in those first moments says a lot about your mindset. Are you constantly scanning the room? Are you looking around to see who is watching? Are you checking reactions? Or are you present in the moment, focused on what is in front of you? Because when someone is seeking validation, it shows through their attention. Their focus is not stable. It shifts constantly. But when someone is grounded, their attention is steady. They're not trying to gather approval from the environment, and that steadiness feels different. Then comes your voice, which adds another layer to that first impression. Not just the words, but the delivery. If your voice is rushed, slightly shaky, or inconsistent, it reflects internal tension. If it's too loud in an attempt to compensate, it can feel forced. But when your voice is steady, clear, and controlled, it shows that you're comfortable speaking without needing to prove anything. And that comfort translates into confidence. Now here's something important to understand. In those first 10 seconds, she is not looking for perfection. She is not expecting you to be flawless. She is simply picking up on signals. Signals of confidence or insecurity. Signals of calmness or pressure. Signals of independence or neediness. And these signals don't come from trying harder. They come from how you feel internally. Because when you try to control every detail, it creates tension. But when you're comfortable with yourself, everything aligns more naturally. Most men make the mistake of focusing too much on what to say. They believe attraction starts with conversation. But in reality, by the time the conversation begins, a first impression has already been formed. And that impression shapes how everything you say is received. If your presence shows confidence and stability, your words are supported. If your presence shows tension or uncertainty, your words have to work harder. Now imagine two different scenarios. In the first, a man walks into a room quickly, slightly adjusting himself, looking around to see who notices him. His movements are not fully controlled. His attention is divided. He is aware of how he is being perceived, and that awareness affects how he carries himself. In the second, a man walks in calmly. He is not rushing. He is not scanning for reactions. He is simply present. His movements are steady. His posture is natural. His attention is focused. Without a single word being spoken, the difference is already clear. And that is the power of the first 10 seconds. Because those seconds don't define everything, but they set the tone. They create a starting point. They influence how the rest of the interaction unfolds. At the end of the day, what women notice in the first 10 seconds goes far beyond appearance, clothing, or even physical features. Those things might catch attention for a moment, but they don't define how you are perceived on a deeper level. What truly stands out is how you carry yourself when nothing is being said, when there is no effort to impress, and when there is no time to prepare or adjust. Because those first few seconds are unfiltered. They reveal your natural state. They show whether you are comfortable with yourself or constantly trying to manage how others see you. And that difference is powerful because it cannot be hidden behind words or rehearsed behavior. When a man is grounded, it shows immediately. His movements are not rushed. His posture is not forced. His attention is not scattered. He is simply present, aware, and in control of himself. There is no sense that he is trying to prove anything. There is no urgency in how he behaves. And that lack of urgency creates a sense of calm that people naturally feel. On the other hand, when a man is unsure, even slightly, it also becomes visible. There's a subtle tension in how he moves, how he looks around, how he positions himself. It may not be obvious at first glance, but it is felt, and that feeling shapes perception faster than words ever could. This is why trying to perform confidence rarely works in those first moments. Because performance requires thinking, adjusting, and controlling behavior in real time. And that creates small inconsistencies. But real confidence does not come from performance. It comes from familiarity with yourself. It comes from being comfortable without needing validation. It comes from knowing that you don't have to do anything extra to be enough in that moment. And when you reach that level, something changes in how you are perceived. You are no longer trying to create a good impression. You naturally leave one. Not because you forced it, but because your presence is aligned. Your body language, your pace, your attention, and your energy all move in the same direction. Over time, this becomes your default. You don't think about how to stand, how to move, or how to look. You don't calculate your behavior in those first few seconds. You simply show up as you are, and that authenticity creates consistency. And consistency is what builds trust, even in the earliest stages of interaction, because people are drawn to what feels real. Not perfect, not exaggerated, not overly controlled, but real. And real confidence is quiet. It doesn't need to announce itself. It doesn't need to demand attention. It is simply there, steady, and noticeable without effort. So instead of focusing on trying to impress in those first 10 seconds, the real focus should be on becoming more comfortable within yourself overall. Because when that internal state is strong, everything else follows naturally. Your posture improves without forcing it. Your eye contact becomes steady without thinking about it. Your movements slow down without effort. Your presence becomes more grounded without trying to control it. And that is what truly makes the difference. Not what you say, not how much you try, but how you exist in those first moments when nothing else is helping you. Because those moments are honest. They reflect your real level of confidence, your real level of control, and your real level of comfort. And when those things are aligned, you don't need more time to make an impression. You don't need long conversations to prove yourself. You don't need to convince anyone of your value, because it is already felt almost instantly. And that is why the first 10 seconds matter so much. Not because they define everything, but because they reveal everything that words cannot hide.
Follow for more if you want to understand women better.